Americans don't take very kindly. Actually, let me show you. These are the riots, the protests.
As long as you do it legal. That's what I'll say.
That nobody wants to leave, but they want to talk as much crap as they want about it.
I know.
It's the only one that we know of.
That's true. That's true, bro. Not gonna cap.
Luckily for me, I found some. Legal ones. I assume. I didn't ask for their papers, but I did pick their brains on how they viewed President Trump's current deportation agenda. Too hot? Too cold? Just right? Is their perception, like many of us, shaped by media or their experiences? And as immigrants themselves, with backgrounds ranging from Mexico to Cuba to China, they all had different points of view. And you can choose whose perspective you line up with most. Comment below. At the end of all this, we decided that I think they can stay in the country. Well, most of them. This is Talking with People.
What's your name?
So he's about to go out and talk to people in the streets and their feelings about immigration, specifically illegal immigration. And he said he's talking to immigrants. I'm just going to assume everyone he's talking to is an immigrant. I don't really know. That's just what he said. Nonetheless, let's get into this video. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Name, sir?
Chico, nice to meet you.
Chico? Steven, nice to meet you, Chico.
Meet you, my friend.
So, you live around the area? You visiting? Or?
It's like 5 minutes away from here.
Yeah? Do you like it here?
I love Dallas.
Yeah?
Good city.
We've had some people complain about the heat, saying it's bipolar today.
Of course. No, today is beautiful.
Yeah, this is not. So what are you complaining about today?
Maybe next morning it'll be like 100 degrees, so
Yeah.
there's nothing to complain today.
I know. I was raised in Canada where we get negative 40, so I'll take a little heat if that means I don't get 9 months of blistering cold.
Yeah, for real.
Obviously, a big topic in the news is immigration in this country. Deportations have stepped up. We've seen these riots, protests in the streets. What are your initial thoughts on that, as far as immigration in the United States?
You know what I think is they do something like really like a hack for us. I think because I'm immigrant too, and then how I say, so they know her like really bad.
Don't worry about how it comes.
We have like mostly people coming from Mexico, from different places to South America, Central America, come to work for opportunity for our family, you know. And then also we make family here too when we get married with American who will become women from the same country too.
Yeah.
Was it coming from? And then now the problem, I understand why he do it, no, but now a lot of people have family here, you know. You get separate kids, they born here, to understand.
Yeah.
They don't know nothing about over there, and then have a lot of people live over here for like 15, 20 years, you know. They already established over here.
Sure.
This one is difficult.
It's difficult. So what do we do with someone who broke the law and came here a while ago and is still here illegally?
You know, I'm trying to fix that problem. You know, a lot of people like me, we pay taxes, we do all the things is under law, you know. Only the problem we do is when we come in here, LA. The law. It's only that. It's only one thing we broke.
Yeah.
From here. You know, I have a lot of people over here, even American people, they broke the law like many times.
Yeah.
Then USA don't do nothing with that. No. We come over here.
Well, if they don't get caught.
Yeah. We don't come over here to steal a job. We don't come over here to steal cars, to steal money, to steal land. No, only come here to work, you know. So looking for better life.
Yeah.
Better life for ourselves, for our family, you know. And then I think it's like, but the USA is difficult to fix our papers. So me, I live here for 9 years, you know. I'm married for 2 years. The country, they not pay me even a green card, you know.
Yeah,
it's fine already.
Takes a while, yeah.
It takes a while.
Yeah.
More than 2 years, and then they even not get nothing, you know.
Right.
It's still the same.
So you're married to an American?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're not at risk of being deported then?
But no, over here it's not very dangerous, but you see what happened in California, where it's more my people over there when it's like...
Well, what do you mean your people?
My people is like Mexican. I'm Mexican, you know.
Both my parents came here in my dad came here in 63, but my parents 65.
Okay.
And growing up our whole lives in Los Angeles, California, surrounded by a lot of immigrants, surrounded by a lot of, you know, ethnicities, surrounded by a lot of culture, they still said it doesn't matter what that says. You're still 100% American. The country comes first. This is the country that gave us freedom. Our country took away our freedom in one day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was very interesting to see all that, and it was very interesting to grow up around that kind of environment and still have that mindset And what boggles my mind is that people don't see that.
Yeah.
You know, I understand what the first guy was saying, that people come to the United States and they're here for 10 years, 15 years, and they have an entire life. They have an entire family in the country. And this is why when I look at the immigration debate, I never look at it from of how I feel perspective or of how I think something is morally right or something is amoral, because morals are subjective. Depends how you look at it, depends if you have any feelings involved in it. But I do look at it from the perspective of what is legal and what is illegal. Just because the paperwork is hard doesn't mean that you just can't do it. That's not how life works with anything at all. Just because you don't know how to do something just doesn't mean that you just don't do it. It would be the equivalent of if you want your child or you want to go to college and you just don't fill out any housing paperwork, or you don't fill out or you don't apply for classes because it's just too complicated for you. You're not going to get any classes and you're not going to have any housing. You won't be enrolled in this school. And that's how I look at this perspective. Yes, it sucks, but you just can't avoid the process because you don't want to do it or it takes too long. That's not right. It's not legal. Forget if it's not right. It's not legal. So if a president comes in and says, well, I'm going to deport you because you didn't file for citizenship, you can't sit here and pretend like they're doing something that's just completely unjust, because you know that you are an illegal citizen. You know that you didn't file any paperwork. You never even tried to. You didn't hire no lawyer. You didn't work a job and save up your money to hire a lawyer to file paperwork for you. I know you didn't. So we need to stop trying to pretend like what is happening right now is just some completely insane thing when we know it's not.
They just want to keep on going with this narrative of, immigrants should be allowed to do whatever they want and they should be free. It kills me.
If I were to go to Mexico and live there, and by the way, I can't protest. I can't even own waterfront property in Mexico, right? And I said, no, but I'm American. I'm not Mexican. That would not be tolerated. Americans, I will say this, and I'm half Canadian, don't like it when they hear you say, I'm Mexican. Then we don't want people here who don't identify as American. Is that fair? Because you shouldn't be here if you're not American. Is it?
I think this one is a world freedom for everybody. I think land is no owned for nobody. I think people need to go wherever they want. I understand the rules about the countries, I think mostly Latin or Hispanic people, maybe 90%, they don't break the rules. They only come here for work,
At your house, do you wave the American flag? Chinese flag?
Oh, we don't have any flags.
Get an American flag. We expect that of immigrants here. You come here, you got to be American, got to love America.
I'm not fully American, yeah. I'm still trying.
Oh, guess what? Guess what? Just start considering it tryouts.
Oh, maybe it's July 4th this year.
Well, because Americans, I will say, I'm half Canadian, was raised there. Americans don't take very kindly. Actually, let me show you. These are the riots, the protests. What do you think?
Well, I'm fully American. I was raised here, not an immigrant in any way, shape, or form. So I'll say this. Americans expect you to do what you want, as long as you do it legally. That's what I'll say. You don't have to buy no American flag, but you have to follow our rules, because Americans can be very stern. You can do what you want in America. We're the land of the free. That's our motto. The land of the free, home of the brave. So I do kind of disagree with him on that. You don't have to buy an American flag if you're an American. You don't have to buy an American flag if you're an legal immigrant, because we're the land of the free. As long as you follow the laws. Nonetheless, let's continue.
They would do in China.
It's the one in LA.
Yeah, what do you think they would do in China if you were protesting and waving a foreign flag?
This will never happen.
It seems like people who flee actual communism, yes, are very patriotic.
Absolutely. It's because, they understand what they understand what they've lost. They understand what they've left, and they understand what they're gaining.
Yeah.
And they're willing to put in the effort and the work into what they're gaining versus what they never had.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really good, it's the only country that we know of that nobody wants to leave, but they want to talk as much crap as they want about it.
I know.
It's the only one that we know of.
And I appreciate that you are working. But you and I both know that's not all people coming here illegally. And also, hundreds of terrorists were captured at the border, right, when the borders open. There are more slaves on earth than ever, 40 million, many of them. You know the cartels, right? If you try and come here, you know that for every person like you, there's a dozen people who were captured by the cartels, taken advantage of, right? They run the southern border. and that illegal immigrants are 2 to 5 times more likely to commit crimes, and they cost taxpayers $400 billion a year. So Americans are just saying, hey, come here legally, get on the... In other words, someone like you who pays taxes, who works, they don't have a problem. They will have a problem with you saying you're Mexican, not American.
Yeah.
Because come here, you're American. But we do need to find out who's coming in.
The problem to come here legally is difficult, really difficult to get like a visa or like a, how I say in English. My English is really bad.
No, actually, it's not bad. It's good. I appreciate it.
It's really difficult to come legal over here to USA. For this one, mostly people do it that way. You know, it's the way we have to come here. You know,
you could stay in. You don't have to come to the States. It's not a law.
It's difficult for a lot of people to stay in Mexico because Mexico, they have a problem about cartels. You know, where you go live, I have a lot of people they run away from cartels. You know, they looking for a place to live, like and I guess happy.
They're escaping violence or crime or poverty.
All these things.
Yes.
Other people coming over here because they poor. They have his family. They don't have money, or they wanna do something better to them. You know, like
it's better here.
My mom, we have a decent house, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I want something better for my mom.
Right.
I want something better for my sister, you know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to come over here legally before, when I was in the college. USA did not give me the opportunity to come over here, you know.
Yeah.
And when Mexico get really difficult to live, when I have my 2 sisters and my mom, and my dad died, so I need to find the solution.
Same place if we're like focusing on criminals first, but also I don't know if it's just the media or like what I'm reading is there are a lot of, you know, just on the street, people getting arrested.
Some people
for no reason.
So like probably let me guess. Okay, and I'm just gonna guess. You probably read about the man who was deported to an El Salvador prison.
Yes.
So and he shouldn't have been deported, right?
I don't know about this matter like as well. So
no, I'm saying because you're saying the media. That's a famous one.
It's just like there's a lot of coverage on these topics. So I think maybe it's just not as known to the public that what are the steps that they're taking to make this happen.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good message to let the public know.
I agree. I agree. And that's the thing is part of the country is trying to, and the media is feeding lies. So that man is actually MS-13. He's a human trafficker. He's being brought back.
There you go. Yeah. So I think those things are not getting highlighted enough.
Yeah. Every single example.
Or like these are the standards that we're going after. I don't think those are. At least I haven't seen those.
Well, I think we need to deport everyone here illegally because we don't know who they are.
Yes.
And because of the crime and because of the drug cartels. And I understand people are seeking a better life, but the problem is you're empowering really bad people. And if you don't, just like in China, they wouldn't tolerate it, right? If you were driving without a license in China, you're probably going
in big trouble.
Whereas here, they just deport you. They go, oh, you're not supposed to be here anyway. You're driving without a license or you got a DWI. Well, we're going to deport you. And then that's seen as cool.
Plane tickets?
Send them back. They can self-identify, deport, and come back. I had a lady actually right up here at this hotel. I was there for New Year's, and privileged white lady,
Of course.
And she was blaming the current situation in Cuba on the United States. I was
really?
Like, what? She goes, yeah, well, the embargoes. And I go, okay, Cuba. Here's the horrible part about Cuba. It has the perfect climate to grow anything. Anything. It's like slapping God in the face, putting communism in there.
Absolutely.
Also, they have the 2 biggest trading partners. Communist China and Russia. And they still can't make it work. How is this our fault?
Yeah, it's not. I know that. I mean, Cuba is actually the gateway to the West.
Yeah.
As far as the ports, I'm sure that during the American Civil War, Spain was back in the Confederacy, and they said, hey, if you win the war, we'll give you Cuba.
Yeah, well, it even goes back further than that with that.
100%.
But it's funny that you mentioned that. A lot of people don't realize Mexico was only a country for was it 23 or 27 years?
I think it was 27 years.
Yeah, 27 years.
Yeah.
So USA stolen land, and then it was a treaty.
It was.
And then we were watching the live riots, and they go, we say the most dangerous immigrants ever were from 1492. I'm like, you mean the Spanish?
Oh my God.
You're right back there.
Not even British or American or French or German. It was the Spanish.
That's very true, bro. And I ain't gonna lie, that's very true. And I'm a little confused because the way this first gentleman was talking, he's kind of talking as if he never filed immigration paperwork. He keeps saying or implying that it's too difficult to file and he didn't know how to do it and he had to make a way. I'm like, bro, are you snitching on yourself? Like, am I missing something? Maybe I wasn't paying attention. Nonetheless, let me know what you guys think about illegal immigration. Illegal immigration isn't right. I'm not saying it's immoral, because obviously sometimes there are moral things that can come with illegal immigration. It's not an immoral or moral thing. It's more so a legal and illegal thing. Nonetheless, my name is LFR Jojo, and I'll see you guys on the next one.